How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. It's getting cold.
We just need a 5-minute opening statement, and then we'll have questions.
All right, questions?
Well, so far this season, what's the balance been like between trying to play and then family and kind of working all that together?
Yeah, it's been fun because it was an adjustment. Having a daughter was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I love spending time with her. So sometimes lose sleep just because I want to get up and hang out with my baby some, but it's all worth it. I'm more focused than ever, and I obviously care about football, and I have to take care of academics and prioritize, and time management's rough sometimes, but it's definitely all worth it.
Is Big 12 football and West Virginia football what you thought it would be when you first decided to transfer?
I didn't think too much into it. Just had an opportunity to play at a great school with a great fan base, and coming in, I just wanted to do the best I could for Mountaineer Nation. I've been impressed with how good the Big 12 is this year as a whole, especially on defense. What we've seen so far, we've played some good defenses and have more to come. Got going coming in this weekend. But it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. This is a great place, and I'm happy to be able to play here at West Virginia.
How different a player are you than you were when you left Florida?
Very different. Different person, really, which translates. But I'm older, more mature in a lot of ways. I've learned a lot, played for a few different coaching staffs, picked up stuff from each one that I've taken with me and tried to use each to become the best player I can. And it's been a fun process, but anytime you go through a change like I went through, it kind of makes you stronger. Coming in here, I had an opportunity to work with the strength staff and these coaches for a year before I had to play, which helped a lot. It was rough sitting out for an entire year, but I developed a lot in that time. Got to keep working, take it one game at a time.
Is the football very different between the SEC and the Big 12?
I got asked this last week, and it's no, it's funny because I wasn't expecting the question, and I'll kind of say the same thing I said last week. I didn't, I go out and take everything one game at a time, no matter who we're playing, and I did the same thing in Florida, and here I treat it the same way, and I don't notice much of a difference. And that is, I'm not looking really deep into this and comparing anything. I play one game at a time and treat everyone the same, and it hasn't felt any different to me, just based off my preparation and how I play, how I approach every game.
Perception is that SEC was very high defensive end. And did you have the perception the Big 12 was just shootouts every game when you first made the move? And obviously you feel differently now, I assume.
Yeah, I think that is kind of a national perception of the whole shootout thing, and I think part of that is there's a lot of good offenses in the Big 12, good quarterbacks and some great offensive minds coaching these teams. And yeah, like I said, I've been impressed with the defenses we've seen already, and we're going to see. I don't know how much I, perceive. It's like I said, I take it one game at a time.
In a game like this, obviously you're more worried about the Oklahoma State defense, but you can't ignore the fact that Mason Rudolph and those guys are on the other side and that they're averaging 40-something a game. Does that make, or do you have to fight the battle to make every play and every possession that much more important, because if you miss a couple in a row, next thing you know, you might be 2 scores down?
Yeah, I think we as an offense, And me and Spav talk a lot about this, how we try and be perfect sometimes, and we get frustrated when, a series doesn't go our way. And I think in every game we want to score every possession. Mason and that offense, they're a great offense, and they're a great team. They have a good defense as well. But so do we. I look forward to, our defense is going to come out, and they're going to play well, and we're going to play well, and treat this like every other game and try and come out with a win. It's going to be a fun game.
Jake got into a little bit of the run-pass flexibility that you have, and was talking about how maybe with the 25-point lead, he would have done some things differently. Can you kind of talk about those conversations and any realizations you might have made, or if you do the same thing over again? Or
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that we wanted back, could have done differently. The ball didn't bounce our way really in the fourth quarter on some things as a whole. But at the end of the day, we've had conversations, and we got to be able to put a team away when we're up 25 or whatever we were up by going into the fourth quarter. We got to do a better job as a team, especially as an offense, to do a better job of controlling the ball and keeping our defense off the field. And I said it after the game, but they did a great job of finishing the game out for us. But we got to do a better job as a whole going forward.
Jake, you talked a little bit about your daughter. The hardest part about being a husband and father in the middle of football season, time management. How difficult is this?
It's not easy. It's because athletes across the country, college athletes. Football takes up a lot of time, and then you got school on top of that, which is another full-time deal. You have to be a full-time student, and I do my best to put in as much effort as I can to that and into my family, because like I said, I take family really seriously. And there's a lot of times when it's really hard. You just gotta push through it and keep going. I accept that. This is where I'm at in life, and then to be great, I have to handle things like this, and that's kind of where I'm at. I just gotta manage my time, and when things get hard, just gotta keep going and do the best I can.
You compare with Justin Crawford. You talk to him.
Yeah. He's in the same boat. He has 2 kids, and they're fun. They have a lot of energy, he's the same way. He doesn't. It's a lot to have a family and try and do football and school, and he does a great job managing it as well. But we definitely laugh at each other a lot, and it's fun having somebody on the team you're close with in the same type of situation.
In those rare moments of spare time, what do you like to do if you have a couple down moments?
I love to play golf. We played golf a couple times this summer, but I don't have any time. All the time I have, I want to spend with the fam. That's just where I'm at. When you have a baby, that's all you want to do is spend time with your daughter. But every once in a while, I'll play a round of golf.
Which is harder, football or golf?
Golf is more frustrating. It's probably a lot harder, which I like. There's a couple. David is good at golf. Eli Wellman's really good at golf, actually. It's just fun team bonding stuff, because I'm not very good, but I enjoy playing.
Where do you usually go to golf?
And we've been to a couple places. Lakeview is. We've been there a couple times. It's a fun course. Could lose a lot of balls, but it's fun.
Games like this, it's you against their defense. But is there any quarterback envy, shall we say? You and the other quarterback, and do you not during the game or anything like that, but what kind of feelings do you have watching him and watching, say,
Mason?
Baker Mayfield or whatever?
They're great players, and they have had a lot of success, and they've been playing in this league longer than I have. I have a lot of respect for what they've done. And it's going to be fun to play against a team like that. It's I'm honored to be in this position, be able to play in games like that.
Jake said 3 of your 5 touchdown passes last week were actually called run plays that you saw. How comfortable are you with that freedom at the line?
I love it. I think that's part of what I fell in love with this offense, and is just having the freedom to do things like that. I think it opens up a lot of the a lot of called runs when it's not a good look. You don't have to sit there and check everything. You can just throw right off of it, which makes it easier. It helps tempo stay fast. And I think we're good at it. I think our receivers are really good at it, and our running backs sell run, and our line does a good job. And over time you get pretty good at that kind of stuff.
Well, when you picked West Virginia, you're kind of in like a free agency position, so to speak, right? You're out there and you get to pick and do it again. I'm not sure how much fun you had the first time, but
Hated it both times.
Do it again, right? Knowing what you knew from the first round, what did you apply to the second round? And conversely, they're quizzing you, or you're quizzing them on things, but did you feel like you had to prove things to yourself or answer things about yourself just to say, it's going to be fun, don't worry about it?
Yeah, it was a weird time. Obviously didn't think I would have to do it again when I was at Florida, up until the very end. I definitely learned things. I think when you do it again a couple years later, there's stuff like, okay, maybe I need to consider this. Like, I think a lot of people would say after they're out of school that, well, I didn't know this was going to happen, or didn't know this. Well, I kind of knew how things went, knew what to kind of expect or look for in a school. I'm not a big fan of recruiting in general. I wasn't a very high maintenance recruit. I talked to Dana and liked the offense, and looked around here briefly, not really in depth, but just really cared about what was important to me. And a lot of that was Dana and his staff and his vision for what he wanted for this team, and be able to play for a passionate fan base and a good football team. And that's really what it came down to. I just thought it was the right opportunity for me. Didn't really complicate the process.
There weren't many visits though, right?
No, not really. I talked to quite a few guys on the phone, but this was the only place I visited.
How much did offense have to fit what you wanted to do?
That was a lot of it. I after playing for 2 guys at Florida that were, I guess, similar in some ways, but different. And then I wanted to play in an offense like kind of what I did in high school. I thought I was good at this kind of spread, tempo, RPO. I just kind of wanted to do that. I think it's fun. It's a fun offense to play in, and since I'd already played in a couple other ones where I was doing some different things, I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to kind of restart and do something different.
Dana said this offense is not very complex, but how complex is it compared to what you ran in high school?
Compared to high school? I mean, it's definitely more complex than what we did in high school. I think me and Spav would argue that it is pretty complex with what we. It's fun though. It's a lot of the same. Me and Spav spend a lot of time scheming stuff up, and he does a great job. He kind of makes it easy on me. He puts a lot of work in, and I come in and do the easy stuff. But we have a lot of fun doing it. It's not as high school is not nearly as complex as what we do here. It was just more similar in the way that it was kind of up tempo, run and gun type stuff. A lot of similar concepts, and this is all just kind of more in depth of that. And I played for my dad in high school, and he's grown the offense that we ran a lot with the guys got now. But they're similar, and he actually we talk, and he takes stuff that that I see, and I help him out, and that's been fun. But it's similar, just a little more complex.
You came here because of Dana and the offense, in schools, etc. You get here, you get about ready to play, and he changes offense, or he decides to hire an offensive coordinator. Did you have any thoughts like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Or did he consult you in any way, or not ask your opinion, but talk to you about it at all?
I was on board. It's the Spav knows the offense, and I think it was a great idea for Dana to kind of step back and do some more head coaching stuff, because since he had the opportunity to hire a guy that knows his offense and had been with him previously, and it all kind of fell into place, and I think everyone was kind of on board with it.
Jake, change it a lot? Is different?
We've grown it a lot. I don't think we haven't changed much. We've personalized it like you do with every year, really, and you got to kind of tweak things to fit what works with the guys you got, and that's really all we've done. We haven't just changed anything. It's a lot of the same. I mean, Dana wouldn't easily be able to. It's very, very similar.
How difficult was it last year, away from football, to sort of set the tone for what was going to happen this year as far as you being a team leader? Because you had a guy, Skyler, who was a senior quarterback, but you're also laying the foundation for the fact that January 3rd or 4th, it shifts and hopefully becomes your team. How did you go about that, and without trying to step on any toes, or just be yourself, or what?
Skyler was a great leader of this team, a great football player. And I enjoyed kind of, watching him and spending time with him while he played last year. And I tried to just lead by example and kind of, not necessarily be too verbal or too out front, but show that I show my hard work and dedication to the team. And when my time came, it was time to take over and be a leader of the team. But Skyler was very welcoming of me, and he was, like I said, a great leader of the team, and that was kind of the focus last year. And then when the time came, I took over. There was no overlap, and he did a great job, and had an unbelievable season last year.
So you guys ran RPO in high school? I mean, it's gonna be tough for 15, 16-year-old kids.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was not the same. It's similar, but this is definitely more complex.
Okay. Thank you very much, Will.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, man.